He chose her every day until I finally chose myself. I keep asking myself whether 9 months of marriage is too early to call it quits, like there's an expiration date on heartbreak. But the truth is, this didn't start 9 months ago. It started the moment I walked into his office with a surprise lunch and met Autumn, his colleague of 5 years, whose name I had somehow never heard in 4 years of being with him. The pause when I walked in wasn't normal. The way they were leaning toward each other wasn't normal. The way they both straightened up like guilty kids absolutely wasn't normal. And the excuse he gave, "We don't talk about work much, you wouldn't understand my field," stuck like a thorn. That night, I watched him scroll, smile, type, scroll again, laugh quietly to himself. He'd been on his phone constantly for weeks, but suddenly it felt different. When I asked who he was texting so much, he didn't hesitate, handed me his phone like he expected a gold star. Pages and pages of messages. Her asking intimate things about our marriage, him telling her inside jokes, cute nicknames, her complaining about her husband, and then the text that broke something inside me. During the surprise party I planned for his birthday, friends, family, decorations, the whole thing, while he hugged me and thanked everyone, he was texting her, "You must be bored at your own party, or you wouldn't be texting me instead of being with her." Her, as in me, his wife. On the night I worked so hard to celebrate him, he promised to stop, and he did, for exactly 4 weeks. Then it crept back in, a message here, a late night reply there, and when I confronted him again, he came home the next day with her, to clear the air. She sat on our couch like she owned the place, smirked, called me insecure, said my issues were a personal problem. She even winked at him. I felt like I was losing my mind. He swore he'd cut contact. Work only. Sure. 2 weeks later, we left for our anniversary trip to Santorini. 3 weeks away to heal. 3 weeks just us. Except it wasn't just us. It was Autumn too, buzzing across the screen 2 or 3 times a day. Always her name lighting up, always his phone face down. He'd wait for me to shower or fall asleep to respond. One night at 2 a.m., I caught him on the balcony typing furiously. He said she was having marriage problems and needed someone to talk to. "Oh, are you a marriage counselor now?" I asked. He laughed. When we returned home, he suggested a date night. I agreed because I was clinging to the last threads of optimism. We were finally laughing again when she and her husband walked into the restaurant. Of course she came over. Of course she touched his arm when she spoke. Of course her husband barely looked alive. And something inside me finally snapped. "So, how are things with you two?" I asked loudly. "I heard you're having marriage problems." Her husband's head whipped toward her so fast I heard his neck crack. "What? Who told you that?" "Oh, my husband did," I said. "He showed me all your texts." The silence at that table felt like a vacuum. Autumn's face drained. Her husband's eyes burned holes through her. My husband stammered something pathetic, trying to collect the pieces. I just smiled and added, "I'm sure I misunderstood. I mean, you were only texting him every day while we were traveling." By the time we got home, my husband was shaking with rage. Said I humiliated him. Said I crossed a line. I asked him one question. "Have you ever slept with her?" He looked at me, blinked, and said quietly, "Once, before I met you." That was it. I told him I wanted a divorce. Emotional affair minimum. Betrayal unquestionably. He said I was being silly, that it was just talking to a friend. His parents called me immature. My mom told me not to make a big fuss. But I can't unsee any of it. The texts, the secrecy, the late night messages, the balcony at 2 a.m., her smirk on my couch, the wink, the way he always chose her attention over my presence. For 2 weeks, I've avoided every touch, every conversation. I work late, go to the gym, spend evenings in bookstores and diners like a ghost. When I come home, I shower and go straight to bed. He keeps begging. Therapy, quitting his job, moving cities, anything. But my gut has been screaming nonstop, and I think it finally wants me to listen.